Do you know why you should sip a cup of licorice root tea at 1 p.m.? Or why some of the world's most famous celebrities sniff rosemary before bed? Or why you should have 2 cups of hot black tea after a long walk? If not, don't worry. I didn't know any of these secrets either, until I spent the summer in Ecuador, visiting my wife's 99-year-old grandma, who doesn't look a day over 50, in a small village called Giron. I didn't know what their secret was, but everyone was thin and looked so much younger than their age. Little did I know that in just a matter of hours, I'd stumble upon a breakthrough that could help end the weight-related health issues in America, thanks to a new discovery from a team of scientists at the Salk Institute in San Diego that can turn up your metabolism on command, just like turning up the heat in your home or the volume on your TV. Now you can do the same thing with your metabolism, thanks to a little-known enzyme buried deep in your cells that stops the production of new fat and forces your body to burn up the fat you already have. Anyone can do this in less than 3 seconds a day, whether you're 50 years old or 85, whether you're physically active or sit on the couch all day. Just like turning on a switch, if your metabolism has always been slow, so no matter what you eat, you can never lose weight, and if you've tried everything, keto, paleo, low carb, low fat, more vegetables, you name it, if nothing has worked, then there's something going on behind the scenes that's forcing your body to desperately hang on to fat, no matter what you try. So please, stick with me for the next 2 minutes, because I'm going to share with you the shocking truth of what's really going on inside your body after you turn 50, along with the sneaky way your body refuses to give up your stored fat, and what you can do in less than 3 seconds to start burning it off. Plus, I'm going to show you all the research, all the scientific studies, and the words straight from a doctor's mouth. So you'll have everything you need to turn up your metabolism whenever you want. By the way, my name is Matt Sterling. I studied health and fitness at Fanshawe College in London, Ontario. I own my own performance fitness and training studio for over 8 years, and for the past 16 years, I've trained and consulted with tens of thousands of women and men all over the world, using my unique yet highly effective fat-burning secrets. Now I live with my beautiful wife, Nubia, and our 3 lovely children, trying to be the best dad I can be. My clients call me the metabolism guy, because that's what I'm obsessed with, figuring out why some people have sky-high metabolisms that burn fat around the clock, while others can gain a pound just looking at a slice of pizza. And what I found, after stumbling upon this new breakthrough scientific research, along with a trip to a tiny village in Ecuador to visit my vibrant and energetic 99-year-old grandma-in-law, is the key to turning on your metabolism whenever you want, in a matter of seconds. And it works no matter what your diet is, how little you exercise, or how old you are. It's all based on human biology. And the secret starts with a new protein enzyme that targets abdominal fat, according to doctors. I refer to it as your metabolism switch, but the scientific name for it is AMP activated protein kinase, or AMPK for short. It's the genetic master switch that controls our metabolism. And when it's activated, it can speed up even the slowest metabolisms, improve cardiovascular health, help maintain optimal blood sugar levels, and even extend lifespan. According to Dr. Barry Sears, activating AMPK is the secret to a longer and better life. The problem is, like air conditioning in the middle of winter, most of us have it turned off. So if you have 15 or more pounds to lose, if you have more fat around your stomach than you want, if you have cellulite, flabby arms, a belly pooch, then it's a clear sign your AMPK pathway isn't working right. The good news is, all you have to do is figure out how to flick this little switch, and everything else will fall into place. You could be at the exact weight you want to be at. You could finally fit into the perfect size jeans. All your clothes will fit just the way you want them to. You'll have more than enough energy to do everything you've always wanted to do. Your libido will be back, and you'll no longer think that everyone is staring at you the moment you walk into a room. Even better, you can forget having to go on a restrictive calorie counting diet ever again. You never have to do another second of cardio, and you don't have to force yourself to eat more vegetables, because none of those things activate AMPK. Hopefully, you can feel the weight being lifted off your shoulders, because you don't have to stress about those things anymore. All you have to do is focus on this one thing, turning on the metabolism switch inside your body. That's it. Nothing else matters. You can let yourself off the hook, because I'm going to show you exactly how to do this in as little as 3 seconds. You can do it in the morning, or before you go to bed. You can do it after a big carby breakfast of pancakes and waffles, or after your bedtime bowl of ice cream. This really works. And like anything, the more often you do it, the better your results will be. But first, I have to tell you something that most doctors don't want you to hear, because it flies in the face of everything you've ever known about losing fat. AMPK is an enzyme found in our cells. It's there, just waiting to be turned on, and it plays a critical role in our energy metabolism, which is simply the rate at which your body burns fat and calories. Specifically, AMPK helps convert sugar and fat into energy while decreasing hunger. So not only are you burning more fat, but your hunger goes down as well. That's key, because if you've ever been on a calorie-restricted diet, you probably felt hungry all the time, which is why crash diets are never sustainable. The secret is, you want to burn fat and decrease your hunger at the same time. That way, you aren't relying on willpower to say no to your favorite foods. You simply won't be hungry all the time. And that's the power of AMPK. However, there's one thing nearly everyone does that we've been told is healthy for years, and yet it kills AMPK on the spot. When you stop doing this, AMPK will soar like an airplane taking off from the runway, flooding your body and burning up the fat in its way. Your body can't produce AMPK in the presence of fructans. Fructans are polymers of fructose, aka sugar. Now, this isn't just any type of regular sugar. Fructans are found in many healthy fruits, vegetables, and legumes. Simply put, fructans are a type of carbohydrate made by a chain of fructose molecules strung together. Here's why they can be a problem. The body's not perfect at breaking down all parts of food, and not all humans have enough of the essential enzyme necessary to break apart the fructose polymers. So when you eat foods high in fructans, your body struggles to break them down. Now, here's the kicker. When you eat fructans, you get a big blood sugar spike, even if those fructans are found in healthy foods like veggies or beans. As your blood sugar rises, your body has to put this sugar somewhere. And since it's hard for most people to break down fructans, the fructose just gets shuttled into your fat cells, which leads to increased weight gain, stomach bloating, and puffiness. These hidden sugars not only cause your blood sugar to spike, it also forces your body to release insulin, which is your #1 fat-storing hormone. It's almost impossible to burn fat in the presence of insulin because insulin blocks AMPK. So if you're eating 5 to 6 small meals a day, you're blocking AMPK from being released. That's the real reason why you aren't burning any fat. Even if you're snacking on carrot sticks, having a giant salad full of veggies for lunch, or a plant-based black bean burger for dinner, they all block AMPK from being released. So you're not burning any fat. As I mentioned before, fructans are made up of fructose polymers. Fructose is a special type of sugar that has to be processed and stored in the liver, which means it can kick you out of fat burning in seconds. While you can store hundreds of grams of sugar in your muscles, you can only store 30 to 50 grams in your liver. If you eat more than that, and just to be clear, the average American eats over 300 grams per day, because there's no more room in your liver, the rest just spills over and ends up in your fat cells. Think of it like this. If you fill your car up with gas and you just let it run, the gas will eventually overflow and spill all over the ground. It's the same thing with extra fructose in your body, except it spills into your fat cells, making your stomach, waist, and thighs bigger and full of cellulite. And once the extra fructose is in your fat cells, it's extremely difficult to get it out, which is why it's so hard to lose fat as you get older. And when you consume too much fructose, you put your liver in an overwhelmed state. You spike your cholesterol and your triglycerides, which means you're going to make a tremendous amount of visceral fat. Visceral fat is the most dangerous type of fat because you can't see it. It's the fat that builds up around your heart and clogs your arteries. What most people don't know is fructans are hiding in some of today's healthiest plant-based foods and vegetables. Have you ever gone on a diet? Maybe you started eating a salad for lunch every day. You cut out the fast food, and yet you still didn't lose that much weight, or maybe you didn't lose any at all. Well, it turns out that a handful of healthy vegetables are extremely high in fructans. Now, before I tell you what they are, I want to be perfectly clear. I'm not telling you to avoid all vegetables. If you're eating these veggies and getting great results, then stick with it. It's clearly working for you. However, if weight loss is always an uphill battle for you, it might be from these high-sugar veggies that are stopping your body from burning fat. When it comes to fructans, the top sources are onions, cabbage, broccoli, and asparagus. And another plant-based food that tops this list are legumes and beans. That means you could be eating plenty of veggies that are stopping you from burning fat. Again, If you're eating fast food around the clock, then switching to these veggies would be a great first step. But once you're eating a relatively balanced diet, and the fat still isn't coming off, fructans and these high-sugar veggies may be to blame, because in the presence of fructans, AMPK can't be activated, which leaves your metabolism slow like a snail all day long. You see, what's healthy for one person isn't always healthy for someone else. So while you're loading up on the beets, broccolis, bananas, and peas, it could be what's stopping you from losing inches as quickly as you'd like. Even worse, as we age, your body naturally produces less AMPK, which is why your metabolism slows down with every year that passes, leading to more fat buildup and loss of lean muscle tissue. Have you realized how most people gain weight and get weaker into their 50s and beyond? Well, now you know why. If you're consistently gaining weight, even if it's just a pound or two every month, your body probably isn't producing any AMPK. It's like trying to drive a car without any gas in the tank. It just sits there, stalled. Now, let's take this one step further so you really understand this, because when you do, then we can talk about how to fix it. As the size of your fat cells increase, your body releases a substance called resistin, which is the perfect name because it basically resists your body from losing weight. Resistin blocks AMPK activity. It's also associated with poor blood sugar control and increased blood lipids. So you eat foods that are high in fructans, your body releases insulin and resistin. Both insulin and resistin block AMPK from being released, and your metabolism stays slow. The fructose gets shuttled to your liver, and when there's too much where the liver can't store all of it, it spills over into your fat cells, leading to a bigger stomach, larger thighs, and a bigger waist. Does all of that make sense? And when your fat cells become too large, it can lead to problems with your cardiovascular system and cholesterol levels, as well as that dreaded weight gain. But what scientists and doctors are finally starting to realize is if you want to get the fat out of your cells and burn it off, it's really as simple as flipping your AMPK switch and keeping it on as often as possible for as long as possible. Because AMPK determines your body fat composition. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I turn on my metabolism switch? Well, if you look at the traditional research, you're going to be disappointed because it's the same boring advice you've heard over and over again. For example, one way you can do it is through intense exercise. In studies, rigorous exercise has been shown to activate AMPK. But here's the problem. First, it only stays activated for a short amount of time. So unless you're doing intense exercise around the clock, which I wouldn't recommend, then it might not make a big difference. Plus, what I found working with hundreds of women and men 50 and above is that intense exercise usually does more harm than good. It's easier to get injured or pull a muscle, and it's hard to stick with long term. Honestly, it's just not worth the risk. You could also try restricting calories. In theory, when you eat less, your body is supposed to produce more AMPK. But here's the problem. You can't restrict calories for the rest of your life. I mean, you've probably tried that dozens of times already, and how has that worked out for you? So while it's technically supposed to help, we all know that your body can't survive on only a couple hundred calories a day. Because when you're starving every day and try to rely on your willpower to avoid the foods you love, it's only a matter of time before you crack and cave into the foods your body really wants. Luckily, a trip to a tiny village in Ecuador helped me discover a secret way to turn on your metabolism whenever you want. After getting married, my wife and I went to visit her grandmother, who lived in the tiny village of Hiran, Ecuador. In Hiran, there are no paved roads, no skyscrapers. There isn't even a grocery store. They live off the land and make everything by hand. When we got there, I noticed something strange. Everyone was not only thin, they all looked incredibly young. In a village full of people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, most of them didn't look a day over 40. I couldn't believe it. And one morning, I followed Nubia's grandma on her morning routine. At 99, she'd walked to a small patch of land about 7 miles outside her village. No cane, no wheelchair, and with her straw basket in hand, she'd pick these tiny plants one by one. I had no idea what they were, but when she had a full basket, we walked back to the village, where she'd spend hours separating the plants. Then she'd grind them down by hand, take a small pinch and put it in a cup, and pour hot water over them. Like an honest-to-goodness, homemade tea. "Why are you drinking that?" I asked. She replied, "This tea keeps me young." And who could argue with her? She's been drinking it every morning for over 50 years. And at 99, she's as sharp as a tack. She lives 100% independently on her own. No one is caring for her. And she looks like someone half her age. My curiosity was running wild. So when I got back home, I started researching the ingredients in my grandma-in-law's secret tea, and I quickly realized why everyone in the village was so thin and looked so young. The first plant extract my grandma-in-law used is called berberine. Berberine is a bioactive compound that can be extracted from several different plants. It's been tested in hundreds of different studies, and it has a long history of being used in traditional Chinese medicine. But the benefits go much deeper than that. One of the main actions of berberine is to activate AMPK. In a study published in a respected medical journal, it states, berberine reduced body weight and caused a significant improvement in glucose tolerance without altering food intake. That means not only did it help with weight loss by triggering AMPK, it also helped maintain healthy blood sugar levels without the test subjects changing their diet. That's key, because if something works without you having to completely overhaul your diet, you're much more likely to stick with it. Berberine also helps slow the breakdown of carbohydrates in the gut, decrease sugar production in the liver, lower total cholesterol. In a study of 37 women and men, the participants took 300 milligrams of berberine 3 times a day. As a result, they dropped their body mass index from 31.5 to 27.4. They also lost belly fat, their waists got smaller, their total cholesterol went down, and their blood pressure decreased. They also saw an improvement in fat-regulating hormones. Berberine can also reduce blood lipids. This means it can help maintain a healthy heart without completely overhauling your diet. The next ingredient was cinnamon bark. When I came across this one, I just assumed it was regular cinnamon. Boy, was I wrong. Cinnamon bark is actually known as true cinnamon because it's less common, and it's considered to be of superior quality than regular cinnamon. According to a study published in the Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry, cinnamon bark regulates the enzyme AMPK to prevent cells from being filled with fat. The result was a decrease in weight gain to those who had a high-fat diet. And in the archives of biochemistry and biophysics, scientists report that this type of cinnamon improves insulin sensitivity and reduces the accumulation of white fat. This is the type of fat that pads your body. Rounding out the list were 4 powerful plant extracts that activate AMPK. The first one is alpha-lipoic acid, which increases insulin sensitivity by activating AMPK in skeletal muscle. It's also been shown to reduce body weight and increase fatty acid oxidation, aka fat burning. Next was chromium, an essential mineral that can increase the amount of AMPK in skeletal muscles, which positively impacts glucose metabolism in skeletal and heart muscles. It also helps maintain blood sugar levels. But what I found most interesting is this. Most people who have tried to lose weight and keep it off fail because of hunger and strong food cravings. Well, in an 8-week study, taking 1,000 milligrams of chromium daily reduced food intake, hunger, and cravings in healthy overweight women, which is extremely powerful. Just think about it. How many diets have you quit because you were hungry all the time, or the cravings just got too intense for you to ignore? And imagine what you could do if that were no longer a problem for you. Next on the list was benfotiamine. Benfotiamine is a B vitamin that can help reduce pain, inflammation levels, and prevent cellular damage. Do you know one of the main triggers that stops your body from burning fat? Inflammation. Most of us are walking around with extremely high levels of inflammation in our bodies, around our belly, and around our organs. Yet, when you get rid of that inflammation, the extra weight starts coming off fast. And last on the list was naringin. Naringin is a flavonoid that has strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. That's because it helps activate AMPK. And remember, when AMPK in your body is high, the body burns more fat at rest. In other words, your fat-burning metabolism increases even if you aren't dieting or exercising, whether you're 50 years old or 80 years young. And it remains sky-high as long as you keep the AMPK pathway open. When you close the AMPK pathway, by snacking all the time, eating oatmeal for breakfast, munching on high-sugar veggies, or eating bananas, apples, or oranges, your body stops burning fat and starts shuttling sugar into your fat cells. After researching all these different plant extracts, I was on cloud 9. I thought I finally had the recipe to end the weight-related health issues in America as we know it. However, I had to see if it actually worked. Based on all the research, if you could activate AMPK, it would essentially turn on your metabolism whenever you want, which means your body will burn more calories and fat at rest. And while most experts try to do this through intense exercise or strict diets, those aren't long-term solutions because they're impossible to stick with. But after my trip to Ecuador, seeing the thin youthfulness in my 99-year-old grandmother-in-law, I truly believed we could turn on your metabolism with a flick of a switch, no matter your age. By using the same formula she had been using for decades, I wanted to make it so easy and so convenient you could do it in less than 3 seconds. So after spending weeks talking with suppliers and manufacturers, I was able to source all the plant extract ingredients in bulk. It wasn't cheap or easy because I was super picky. After all, the ingredients had to be 100% plant-based, without any fillers, additives, or chemicals, non-GMO. It took months to get the formula just right, and by the end of the year, I had just enough in my life savings to get our first test batch in capsule form. That way, you could just pop it in your mouth like your morning vitamin and move on with your day. A little over a month later, a package arrived at my door. I ripped open the box as fast as I could, took one with a big glass of water, and within 24 hours, I felt a change. I wanted to put these plant extracts to the test, so while I was taking them on a daily basis, I was also eating a lot of high-carb meals. You see, along with activating AMPK, these extracts were also supposed to help stop carbs from being stored as fat. That's the 1-2 punch that makes it so powerful, because if you can activate your fat-burning metabolism without having to give up your favorite carbs while still losing weight, then there's literally nothing that could stop you. So for the next few days, I went hard on the carbs. Spaghetti, lasagna, breads, brownies, ice cream, you name it. Anything I could think of. And I didn't gain a single ounce. In fact, after the first 24 hours, I lost 1.5 pounds. And over the next 10 days, my stomach started flattening out. My face looked thinner, my jeans were looser, and I looked younger. Within 10 days, I was down 12 pounds and 2 jean sizes. I felt incredible. However, the biggest change came with my wife, Nubia. After having twins, honestly, my results were just icing on the cake. The true test was with my wife Nubia, who after having 3 kids and twins just a few months ago, she was determined to get her body back. But with the twins at home, she didn't have time to go to the gym for an hour or 2 every day. And after an 8-month pregnancy, she didn't want to go on some unhealthy crash diet. After the first 3 days, Nubia lost 4 pounds, but she didn't think anything of it. Until later that night, when something amazing happened. She was emotionally drained after a long day of taking care of the twins, and after putting them to bed, she went straight for the emergency ice cream in the freezer, and she ate it all, every last chocolatey spoonful. But when she woke up the next morning, something crazy happened. She was down another 2 pounds. Remember, when AMPK is activated in your body, it increases your fat-burning metabolism, and the true cinnamon in my grandma-in-law's secret recipe helps block carbs from being stored as fat. We both looked at each other stunned. Over the next few days, her cravings disappeared. She wasn't hungry all the time anymore, and every morning her weight dropped 1 pound, 3 pounds, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. After just 10 days, I woke up to the loudest scream in the world. I thought something happened to the twins, but it wasn't a scream of terror. It was an excited scream of joy. There was Nubia, standing on the scale, down 14 pounds. Within weeks, all of her pregnancy fat had disappeared. And within just 2 months, she got all the way back down to her high school weight, which seemed impossible just a few months earlier. It turns out, we finally discovered the secret to turning on your fat-burning metabolism whenever you want. Remember, when you activate AMPK in your body, your cravings and hunger go way down, and your metabolism shoots up. Have you ever been around someone who always said no to treats? Maybe it was a coworker, or one of your annoying skinny friends. You just assume they have a lot of willpower or self-discipline. Or maybe you think they don't love food as much as you do. None of that's true. They simply don't have the same cravings, urges, and intense hunger as you. Because when AMPK is turned on, those cravings just don't exist. You feel satisfied instead of hungry. You feel content instead of cravings. And since AMPK is sitting in your cells right now, begging to be used, all you have to do is turn it on and let it do the hard work for you. That's what Nubia and I did. And we started dropping fat like crazy. So we started giving it to all our friends and family. None of them were very health conscious, but they wouldn't mind dropping a few pounds if it was easy. I made it clear this wasn't some miracle formula, just something that helps your metabolism run like it's supposed to, while allowing you to eat more carbs without storing them as fat. Within a week, our parents, aunts, and uncles, all in their 60s and beyond, were getting thinner with more youthful energy without making drastic changes to their diet. That's when I knew this really could work for anyone. And it was now my duty to get this in the hands of as many people as possible. I nicknamed it CarboFix because it fixes the way your body processes carbs, using them for energy instead of automatically storing them as fat. It's the best all-natural formula to fight against belly fat, uncontrollable weight gain, and intense hunger and cravings. Let me be honest with you. If you want to start losing pounds fast, if you want your jeans to slide off your hips, if you want to get rid of the nagging fat on the back of your arms, around your belly, and the stubborn fat stuck to your thighs, CarboFix is your answer. It's the only all-natural 6-ingredient blend in the world that helps activate AMPK to target unexplained weight gain, excess belly fat, and uncontrollable hunger. Now you can finally indulge in your favorite carbs guilt-free, knowing they won't be stored as fat. It's the only formula in the world that combines berberine, true cinnamon, alpha-lipoic acid, chromium, benfotiamine, naringin. And to be 100% transparent, here's the exact label on every bottle of CarboFix, so you can see that there are no fillers, there are no hidden sugars, and there are no dangerous chemicals. It's just 100% pure plant extracts that I've described in detail here today, all backed by the latest cutting-edge research to get you on track for the healthy body you deserve. CarboFix works on 3 unique levels. Step number 1, it helps turn on AMPK in the body. Remember, AMPK is found inside every cell and serves as your body's master regulating switch. It determines your body fat composition and how long you'll live. Supplementing with berberine, combined with the other plant extracts we discussed today, activates AMPK. It also increases fat oxidation, aka fat burning, and decreases fat storage. If you have 15 or more pounds to lose, your number 1 priority is activating AMPK. And the fact that it isn't activated yet in your own body is one of the main reasons people gain fat as they get older. Step number 2, it decreases hunger and cravings. Think about how much easier it would be to lose weight if you didn't have any cravings or intense hunger. You know, the kind where you literally can't stop yourself from giving in. Before you know it, you're standing in front of the pantry with a handful of cookies, and you don't even remember how you got there or how the cookies got into your hand. That's how powerful cravings can be. Yet, when you naturally don't have those cravings, and you don't have to try and rely on willpower any longer, your mood improves, your energy goes way up, and the fat starts coming off. Because now you have AMPK activated, so your body is naturally burning more fat for energy, and you're no longer snacking or falling victim to sweets. Now can you see why this works so fast? You're finally getting out of your own way, so your body can burn fat naturally, like it's supposed to. Step number 3, it blocks carbs from being stored as fat. This is where most traditional diets fail. I mean, how many different low-carb diets are you going to try before you realize that giving up carbs simply doesn't work for you? But now you can have your carbs as often as you want, and you can thank chromium for that. Chromium helps your body metabolize carbs like it did when you were younger. Think of it like an air traffic controller. It supports healthy blood sugar levels by directing nutrients where they need to go in your body. It's so powerful that in a 4-month trial, a group of patients lowered insulin levels without changing their diets. And it even helps maintain healthy cholesterol levels, improve brain health, improve skin, and protect bone health. Are you starting to understand why you've struggled for so long? Most people over 50 years old don't have AMPK activated in their body. They also have intense cravings and hunger that never goes away, which leads them to eat lots of carbs that end up getting stored as fat. This cycle goes on and on for years, even decades. And it's why weight-related health issues have become such a huge problem here in America. But all that ends today. The only reason this was never discovered before was because no one took the time to do the research on the exact right plant extracts and the exact right doses and piece this all together. I can see why. It took me a trip to a tiny village in Ecuador, my entire life savings, hundreds of sleepless nights, and more stress, self-doubt, and anxiety than I could have ever imagined. Yet, when I see what it did for my grandma-in-law and the people in her village, my wife Nubia, my own family, and thousands of others across the world, I know it was worth it. That's because with these 5 unique plant extracts, you can finally turn on your metabolism whenever you want. At this point, you've heard about my story to Ecuador, how my grandma-in-law is young, thin, and 100% self-reliant at 99 years old, and how Nubia dropped every last bit of pregnancy fat in record time. Plus, how thousands of women and men are raving about a solution that takes less than 3 seconds a day and works when nothing else does. So let me ask you a question. What will you see in the mirror 2 weeks from now? Be honest with yourself, because if you don't take the first step, then I fear that nothing will ever change. With every week that goes by, you're losing precious time that you'll never get back. Whatever life has been like for you, it doesn't need to stay that way. That's why, if you're stuck if you're frustrated, if you're tired of struggling, then I want to do something to personally help you. We've set aside the next 350 bottles for viewers of this presentation at an extreme discount. You see, we went through our initial 5,000 bottle test batch in less than 24 hours. Once the word spread online, our site nearly crashed, and once people realized how fast the bottles were going, they started ordering 6 or more bottles at a time. That way they can start burning fat right away and keep it going for the rest of the year. It sounds crazy, but it makes perfect sense, especially since there's so much research proving the benefits of AMPK and how it can slim down your body and cut back on cravings. When the first few pounds start coming off, you'll feel more motivated than ever, and you'll want it to keep going. However, since so many people are ordering 3 to 6 bottles at a time, we're always at the risk of running out of stock. I mean, I'm just a former trainer from Canada. I'm not some rich business tycoon with deep pockets, so keeping inventory on hand and ready to go has been one of my biggest challenges. And when we run out, you'll have to wait up to 3 months on average, because we're not going to cut corners. We guarantee the freshest, cleanest plant extracts in every single bottle. Each bottle of CarboFix is manufactured in a CGMP facility, approved of by the FDA, clinically validated by research-based doses, third-party tested for quality assurance, manufactured using a unique, clean filtering process to preserve the nutrients in each dose so they never become contaminated, made with 100% pure plant extracts. This process is critical for producing the best plant extract on the market today, and that takes time and resources. Because we're not willing to cut corners or compromise on quality, we can only produce a certain number of bottles at a time. And with so much research showing that the longer you use these unique plant extracts, the more pounds you can see melt away, the more your hunger naturally decreases, the more your cravings fade away, especially at bedtime, and the more fat your metabolism will burn. It's easy to see why so many frustrated dieters are ordering several bottles at a time, so they can remain stocked up, and even give some to their family and friends after they ask them what in the world they've been doing to get so thin. Now, if you're wondering how much you should take, start with one capsule about 30 minutes before your first meal, and another one 30 minutes before dinner. That way, if you're going to have a higher carb breakfast, like pancakes or waffles, or maybe some pizza or spaghetti for dinner, you'll give the plant extracts plenty of time to work their magic. Now, if you want even faster results, here's what I found works really well, especially for women who've been stalled for 2 weeks or more. Take one 30 minutes before lunch as your midday metabolism boost. Think about it. Let's say you want to buy a lottery ticket. Are your chances to win better buying just one ticket or 200? Of course, your chances of winning go up the more tickets you buy. It's the same thing here. The more you take, the faster it works. Now, don't go overboard. You don't need to take 20 a day, but start taking them 30 minutes before each meal and snack for at least 30 days. Here's why it's critical to commit to at least 30 days. No matter how many bottles you choose, your shipment will be on its way as soon as you place your order. Depending on where you live, it usually takes 3 to 5 business days to arrive. When the package gets dropped off at your door, I'm sure you'll want to rip it open and try some right away. So go ahead and take one with a glass of water. Then do the same thing at night before dinner and the next morning. Most people will notice a difference within the first 24 hours. Your hunger before bed will start to fade away. You'll be satisfied after dinner without having to go back for seconds. You won't be starving from the minute you wake up. And while you can definitely still enjoy your sweets and treats, you won't feel like they're controlling you. Within the first month, people will ask if there's something different about you. They'll probably ask what diet you're on, or if you've been exercising more, because you just look so good. After 3 months, it'll be hard to even recognize you, especially for your friends and family who haven't seen you in a while. They don't think you're the same person. They'll do a double take when you walk in the room. And after 6 months, you'll look like a completely different person. Younger, thinner, more vibrant, with a glow that follows you everywhere you go. The more you use it, the more effective it will be. Just like taking a multivitamin, it's not going to do much if you take one a month, but if you take one every morning, it can really help bulletproof your body. Think of this as your new daily defense, your shield against uncontrollable cravings, intense hunger, and sudden weight gain. That's why I always recommend choosing at least 3 bottles to get started, and 6 bottles if you're really serious about getting the weight off in record time. A single bottle will get you started in activating AMPK in your body, probably for the first time since you were a kid. You'll feel a rush. That's your metabolism burning up your body fat. Trust me, the first 30 days go by quick, and continuing to use it for 3 months gives you the momentum you need to help reverse years of damage to your metabolism. And when you commit for a full 6 months, something special happens. You have control over your appetite. Your body is firing on all cylinders. Your cravings fade away, and don't control you anymore. Your stomach flattens out. You feel better than you have in months because your body and metabolism are finally running like they're supposed to. Plus, the more you stock up, the more you save. When you get a single bottle of CarboFix, it's only $49 a bottle, which is already a $50 savings. And because our multiple bottle packages are our best sellers, we set it up so that the more you buy, the more you save. Because as a new small business owner, I want you to save as much money as possible in hopes that you'll tell your friends if, and only if, CarboFix works wonders for you. That's why, if you choose the 6-bottle discounted package, you'll pay just $34 a bottle. Plus, we worked out a deal with our supplier, so you'll get a big new customer discount on a 3-month supply as well. The savings aren't as big as the 6-bottle discount, but they're still significant. And don't worry, whatever package you choose, you will not be billed again unless you make another order. I hate companies that keep sending you bottles when you didn't order them. But you have to act fast, because our supply is running low, and I can guarantee these discounts will not be available forever. To get started, simply click the big yellow button below, and you'll be taken to our 100% secure order form page. Go ahead and save the most by choosing the 6-bottle package, or whichever works best for you. Your discount will automatically be applied. Once you complete your order, it will arrive at your doorstep within just a few short days. You'll also receive an email confirmation from us, along with information on how to get in contact with our support team, just in case you have any questions or want to track your order. We're not one of those companies that runs and hides after you make a purchase. We're here to help you every step of the way. Now, I don't know about you, but I hate paying for something that doesn't work. And it's even worse when you have to spend hours on the phone, jumping through hoops just to get your money back. That's why, when you try CarboFix today, and you start using it in the morning before breakfast, and again before dinner, and any time you'd like in between, if you aren't absolutely thrilled with your results, then you pay nothing. If, for whatever reason, CarboFix doesn't work for you, then all you have to do is contact our support team, and we'll refund your entire order with no questions asked. Simply click the big yellow button below to get started. You also get the following 3 bonuses absolutely free when you order today. Making CarboFix a part of your daily routine is the first step to getting your body back. However, I want to make sure you have everything you could possibly need to get the extra weight off as quickly as possible. That's why I'm including the following 3 bonuses absolutely free when you pick up your supply of CarboFix today. However, these bonuses won't be available for long. I can't even guarantee they'll be here tomorrow. So make sure you grab them up now or risk missing out forever. Free bonus number 1 is the 10-day rapid fat loss diet. While you don't have to change your diet in order for CarboFix to work, as a personal nutrition coach, I always recommend it. That's because I don't just want you to lose a bunch of weight. I want you to have a strong, healthy heart. I want you to have healthy cholesterol levels and healthy blood pressure. I want you to have lots of energy, so you can be around well into your 70s, 80s, even your 90s, to watch your kids and your grandkids blossom. And nutrition can play a big role in that. However, my approach is different than most. I don't want you to starve yourself. I don't want you skipping meals, and I don't want you to count calories. You don't have to go keto, low carb, or plant-based either. Over the years, I've come up with the most powerful 10-day protocol to get rid of the nagging fat in the shortest amount of time possible. Inside, you'll discover the secret to eating lots of carbs that never get stored as fat, the #1 fat-burning food to eat first thing in the morning, what the world's top celebrities over 50 do to stay thin year-round, how to reprogram your body to burn fat while you sleep. This isn't some low-carb or low-calorie diet plan, but it is something doable that you can stick with long-term, so you don't just lose a bunch of weight, only to regain it a few weeks later. This puts an end to rebound weight gain, and in our test groups, the average weight loss over 10 days has been 8.5 pounds, with the record being 16 pounds. Free bonus number 2 is the 24-hour fix. I don't know about you, but I'm obsessed with getting fast results. That's why my personal clients pay me up to $3,000 a month, because after struggling for 5, 10, even 15 or more years, they were willing to pay a pretty penny to get the fat off now, especially if they're older and their life is literally on the line. So whenever I personally coach someone new, we always start with this 24-hour protocol. It's designed specifically to get those first 5 pounds off as fast as possible, because once you prove to yourself that you can do this and that this will work for you, then there's nothing that can slow you down. Getting started is always the hardest part, which is why if you commit to just 24 hours, you won't feel overwhelmed. And when the results start coming in, you'll have the momentum and motivation to stick with it. Free bonus number 3 is the 50 fat-blasting red smoothies recipe book. One of the secrets my wife Nubia used to get rid of the extra baby fat was combining her morning CarboFix capsule with a delicious smoothie. You see, with 2 baby twins at home, she didn't have time to make a gourmet breakfast in the morning. Heck, she didn't even have time to sit down and have some eggs. So one morning, after changing dirty diapers and feeding the babies, she was already exhausted and needed a pick-me-up. So she started throwing whatever we had in the fridge into the blender. At first, it tasted pretty nasty. I mean, she was severely sleep-deprived after all. However, over the next few weeks, she started finding the exact right mix of healthy protein, good fats, and smart carbs that helps the body burn more fat, while giving her the energy she needed to make it through the day. And we found a few common household ingredients that made the smoothies taste absolutely delicious, because if you're just drinking blended up veggies, it can taste pretty gross. So we took the absolute best 50 belly-blasting smoothie recipes that you can make in less than 3 minutes with clean ingredients you probably have in your fridge right now, and put it into a full-color smoothie recipe book that you can get free of charge when you try CarboFix today. So to get your discounted bottles of CarboFix, along with all 3 free bonuses, simply click the big yellow button below, enter in your information into our 100% secure order form page, and you'll receive instant access to the 3 bonuses while your bottles of CarboFix are on the way. Unfortunately, our time here together is almost over, and going forward, you really only have 2 options that lead to 2 very different results. Option number 1 is you can take everything you learned here today and try to apply it yourself. You can spend weeks trying to find the exact plant extracts in the exact right quantities. You can go to all your local grocery stores. You can spend hours searching for them online, and if you do find them, you can figure out how to mix them together in a way that actually works. But let's be honest, that's going to take a lot of time and work and effort. Plus, life will get in the way like it always does, and in a month, you'll probably be in the same exact place you are now, and that's not what I want for you. Option number 2 is you can take the easy way out. Take advantage of all the hard work I've already done and see how powerful these plant extracts are once you get them in your hands. All you need is a few seconds in the morning to start seeing the amazing benefits, and with all the free bonuses, 30 days from now, you can be thinner, more confident than ever, with way more energy, your pants sliding off your waist. You'll probably start making more trips to Goodwill, donating all the clothes that are way too big and way too loose on your body. But you have to take the first step. Look, if you can clean up your diet on your own and start exercising every single day while sticking with it long enough to actually see results, then you clearly don't need my help. However, if you want a helping hand, if you want me to help guide you along the way so you don't have to do this alone, while finally getting the missing link, the unique plant extracts that can make all the difference in the world, then the choice seems pretty clear. Simply click the big yellow button below, enter in your information into our 100% secure order form page, and you'll receive instant access to the 3 bonuses while your bottles of CarboFix are on the way. Plus, if for some reason it doesn't work out, you can just let us know and we'll refund your entire investment. So you have nothing to lose and an exciting, youthful life to gain. Hey, are you still there? I get it. We covered a lot of information today, and you probably have some questions. Here are the most common questions we've received about CarboFix. Question: what's CarboFix again? CarboFix is the breakthrough carb control supplement featuring true cinnamon and other powerful ingredients to prevent weight gain, increase fat loss, and help activate AMPK in the body. AMPK helps increase metabolism and reduce abdominal fat. CarboFix is comprised of 5 unique plant extracts that help activate AMPK, which includes berberine, true cinnamon, alpha-lipoic acid, naringin, benfotiamine, and chromium. Question: when can I expect to see results? Everyone's body is different, so it's hard to say exactly when you'll see results. On average, most women and men see positive results within the first 72 hours. Whether that's losing those first few pounds, noticing your jeans fitting looser around your waist, having more energy, or just feeling lighter overall. As with anything, the longer you do it, the better results you'll receive. When you stick with it for 30 days, you'll start looking and feeling like a whole new person. Within 3 months, your friends may not even recognize you. And within 6 months, people talk about being a whole new person who looks, feels, and moves like someone half their age. Question: how do I know if CarboFix is right for me? That's a great question, because CarboFix is definitely not for everyone. If you have 15 or more pounds to lose and your body seems resistant to diet and exercise, and if your metabolism seems really slow because you can never lose weight, even though you eat pretty healthy, then CarboFix is for you. The odds are AMPK is not activated inside your body. That's because it can be blocked by certain carbs, fruits, and even high-sugar vegetables that most people wouldn't suspect. Luckily, you can turn that around in just a few seconds a day. Question: how can I place my first order? Simply choose the package you'd like below. Once you've done that, click the Add to Order button. You'll be taken to our 100% secure order form. Once you've filled that out, your shipment will be on its way. It usually takes 3 to 5 business days to arrive, depending on your location, and you'll receive instant access to all the free bonuses, including the 10-day rapid fat loss diet, the fat-blasting smoothie recipes, and the 24-hour fix protocol. You'll also receive an email with our customer service contact information. That way you can track your order, and you can reach out to us if you have any questions at all. Remember, I'm here to help you, so please don't hesitate to reach out. Question: is CarboFix gluten-free? Yes. Gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, GMO-free, no MSG either. Question: what constitutes as 1 serving of CarboFix? 1 serving of CarboFix is 1 capsule. Question: how does your money-back guarantee work? If for whatever reason you're unsatisfied with CarboFix and all the free bonuses, simply contact our customer service team and we'll give you a full and prompt refund with no questions asked once you've returned the bottles. Our customer service team will direct you on how to do so to make it easy for you. It's our way of saying thank you for giving CarboFix an honest try. Question: will CarboFix work for someone my age? Yes, CarboFix has worked for women and men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and it works especially well for women in their 70s and 80s. That's because your cells are craving these plant extracts that can't be found in our current food supply. You can't get berberine from any fruit or vegetable, which is the main activator of AMPK. In fact, the older you are, the faster it seems to work. Question: how long will the discounted packages be available? Honestly, the discounts aren't guaranteed past today. As we roll out our first large batch of CarboFix, we want to give you the absolute best deal possible. But we won't be able to do this forever, especially with our suppliers and inventory specialists breathing down my neck. So please, take advantage of the discounted rates while you still can, because I can't promise they'll be available if you close out of this page and try to come back later. Simply choose the option that best fits you below, and I'll be waiting on the inside to help you the best I can, while your first shipment of CarboFix is on the way. Take care.